Howdy. Does howdy work for me? I'm like sick of saying hi all the time, but I don't really, I don't think I'm really cowgirl. We'll let go of that howdy. Okay, we're going to start standing today. I have a chair out. This is not a chair workout, but there's a couple moments we're going to do some balance stuff that if you're concerned about your balance, you might want to have the chair handy. For now, I don't think you'll need it. You're going to stand with your feet parallel, hip width apart. While we tune into your body and the awareness of your breathing, we're going to do a small weight shift forward and back in rhythm with your breath. So let your arms rest by your sides, or you could always put them on your hips if that's more comfortable. When you breathe in, I want you to inhale through your nose and let your body shift forward at the ankles, so more weight's over your toes. And then when you exhale, bring your body weight back so you're stacking it over your heels. As you shift back and forth, so the movement is coming from your ankles, keep aware of your head, ribs, and hips staying in line with your legs, so you're shifting as if your whole body is a plank. And then exhale back. Visualize yourself getting bigger on the inhale because you're filling up with so much air. When you exhale, try to find the core support that naturally happens through that phase of your breath. And then exhale back, and just one more time like that. Inhale, leaning into it, and exhale back. All right, now I'm going to have you leave your legs parallel. You can place one hand on your hip. We're going to use your other arm. I'm going to have you go into a squat. You're going to reach across towards the other side, and let's make a big sweeping circle around, as big as that circle can be. So I'm going to go low to trace the bottom half, stand up tall to trace the top half. And I'm letting my gaze kind of loosely follow my hand, using more of my peripheral vision than my central focus. When I get up, I'm going to switch directions. I've been thinking about peripheral vision a lot lately. I mean, it's super handy dandy to help with your balance and not tripping on stuff. But it's also a really good way to fight anxiety, is to just have a lot of eye movement, looking around into a broader field of vision than, say, just staring at your computer. 2 more times. So tracking your hand, but doing it with the edge of your vision is another good way to get that in. Let's take that arm up and over to the side. Got to pay attention to my reps here. And just a little mermaid stretch. Now with this hand, let it push into your hip to help you with that sway, and you'll get more of a full expression of the side bend throughout the whole side of the body. One more time, up and over, and return. All right, let's see if I can coordinate that with my other hand. Hey, if you're like me, watch that chair. All right, so I'm going to go low, up and over and around, sweeping down and lifting. If I could keep selling this squat. This is also great for your knees and your hips because you have to do a little bit of a weight shift, and it's great to play around, let's switch around, with that lateral movement of the knees. Even though they mostly function as a hinge joint, we need a little play side to side so we can handle uneven surfaces and direction changes. One more time. And then up. All right, we got this arm up. Let's take a side bend and then back up. And let the head follow the arm. Make sure the shoulder is still falling out of your way. And 2 more times, up and over, and return. Last one, to stretch and lift. Okay, if you're going to use a chair, this would be a great time to grab it. If you're not sure, keep it near you and just have your hand above it. We're going to stand into a little bit of a turnout. You're going to take one leg in front of the other, pointed and just across the midline. Now, whichever hand's not holding the chair, I want you to do a fist. If you're going to have both arms off the chair, double fist it. And you're going to lift your leg up like a nice slow march. As you pick up the leg off the ground, I also want you to flex your ankle. You're going to swing your leg out to the side and then step it back into a curtsy. I want you to lift back up, swing it around to the front, and lower down across the midline. So I'm going to come up and flex the foot. Take your time with the opening. Drop the leg down behind. You can get a little calf stretch if you drop your heel. Kick back up, around to the front. What I'm loving about this, you get some good hip mobility. Obviously a balance challenge, but we're also exploring different momentums and speeds. 2 more times. So if I'm grabbing the chair, I'm just going to go here. And this lift back up, just give it a little power. Slow it down, drop. 2 more times, lifting up, slow swing around, drop into your curtsy, back up to the front. Yeah, cheers for me. One more time. And around, curtsy, back up, around to the front, lower down. All right, let's take it to the other side. Give your arms a little break. Okay, so tiny bit of turnout. I'm going to take that front leg just across the midline. In turnout also. Go chair, maybe a fist with the other hand, or both. All right, so from here, we're going to lift up. Flexing your foot, open it to the side, step back to your curtsy, back up, around to the front, tap it down. So we're slow. Give it a little more speed for the drop, and the lift to challenge the balance around and down. And we go up. There's my chair hold. And drop. Lift. Around and lower. You got 3 more of these. Step it back. And around and down. 2 to go. Drop it. Lift. Round to the front. 1 more time. Bring it up. And then curtsy it back, lift, and drop. All right, shake out the upper body a little. Okay, if you still need chair support, we're going to put it there. You will not need it right away, but we're going to get to it. We're going to start out just walking up and down into a plank a couple times. So you still want to work with parallel feet. Take a breath in. And then when you exhale, nod your chin, start to roll down towards the floor. And you can let your knees bend on the way down to make it easy to reach the ground. Then just walk out to a plank. We're going to hold it. Lift your chest and chin into an extension. Come back to neutral. Do that 2 more times. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Back to neutral. 1 more time. Heart up. Back to neutral. Now drop your head. Walk your hands back in. Get your weight into your feet. Roll yourself back up. We're going to do a different thing in the plank every time we go down. Should have mentioned that too. All right, drop your chin. Start to curl towards the floor. Soft knees. Walk it out. All right, now find that neutral line again. This time, let's do a little weight shift back and forth. So you're going to rock back towards your feet. So you can see I'm flexing my feet, stretching my heels, not my heels, my calves, and shift forward. You'll see my heels move, but you'll feel your calf stretch. Shift back and forward. Let's make this 2 more. Shifting back and forward. Last time. And forward. Drop your head. Start to walk it back in. Weight onto your feet. Roll back up. All right, next one. Plank into pike. Drop your chin. Roll yourself down. Walk it out. Like fun where we go right into little planky things. All right, so from here, nice wide fingertips. You're going to pike your hips up, shift your weight back towards your feet, and then drop down into your plank. Pike up and lower back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Lifting and dropping and 2 and down. 1 more time and down. Now instead of walking up, this time I'm going to have you drop down to your knees. All right, from here, you're going to take 1 leg up so we get our like posing for the sports team picture. And depending on how flexible you are in this hip, you can shift your weight forward a little bit more if you like a little more opening. So this is where I thought the chair might come in handy for what's coming next. We'll see. All right, first phase of this, we're going to shift your weight from kneeling up onto your front leg. So I'm going to have you take 1 hand down to the floor. Press up through that back knee. So that's your first version. Tap your knee down, lift your chest, and extend your spine. So the floor, if you can reach it, is going to get you a good range of motion where you're dropping into this plank. But it also gives you a lot of stability. So if you want to make the plank part a little more challenging, you're going to put both hands, this is right near the chair, both hands on that front leg. Okay, so we've got a much smaller base of support. You're going to drop down and then lift the arm. And 2 more times. So you pick what you want to do with your arms. Drop down and lift. 1 more time. Shifting forward, finding that hinge. Drop your knee. Lift your chest. Okay, while you're here, just take 1 little mermaid side bend so we get that outer hip. It'll feel different for sure from the stuff we did standing. Okay, and then back up. Go ahead and switch your leg. Okay, so first I just want to find that openness through the hip. You got your toes curled under. So I'm going to show both ways again. So I've got one hand on the knee. I could take one to the floor. I'm going to push up. You want your gaze to be at the ground, a little farther forward than your toes. And then knee down. Get your weight shifting, hips forward, chest up. And then we come back down. So I'm going to go floor, push up to that plank, drop the knee down. Is it okay that I'm still calling it a plank? Plank, straight line foot to head, I mean by that. Okay, so if you want to go onto your knee with both hands, shift. Make sure you're still pushing your hips down. Drop your knee, find that support, lift your chest and chin. And then shift, weight into that front heel, extend the back leg. Drop your knee down, lift your heart, look up at the ceiling. One more time, hands to the leg, shift forward, extend, find that long line energy. And then knee down. Take one more lift into extension. Now, reorganize it and just take one side bend stretch. And then come on up. Okay, we're going to go down to the floor. So I'm going to say just like shove that chair a little bit away from you so it's not clogging up your precious mat space. All right, let's get into an undulating hip roll. Warm up your spine a little bit. So you're going to start out laying in neutral. Don't stress that too much, but your hips, your ribs, and head should all have good contact with the mat. Little arch present under your low back and your neck. Let's begin rolling on the way up. So you're going to tilt your pelvis through imprint to start the movement. Peel your spine away from the floor, one vertebra at a time. Then allow a little arch to come into your back and bring the whole thing down as a unit. So our goal here is to flex on the way up and extend on the way down. Roll up, and right at the moment you feel your ribs pop, you start to drop down. 2 more times. Curl off. Open the front of the body, drop down. 1 more time. Roll up, drop down. Now just reverse it so the hips go straight up. Roll down through your ribs, your low back, and your hips. Arch and lift, and roll your way back down. Arch it up, and roll back down 2 more times. Lift from your heart. Now melt, sink, and release 1 vertebra at a time. 1 more. Arching up, and then rolling your way back down. All right. We're going to go into a set of toe taps. So just like you initiated the first direction, I want you to do a pelvic tilt, but this time just enough to feel your low back get a little flatter towards the mat, not even real smushed into it, like 5-10 degrees of tilt. When we get there, you're going to have a shorter position of your obliques, so you should sense them a little bit more, creating your stability, and that helps to kick tension out of your low back. Now, I'd like you to take your arms up to the ceiling with your palms facing in so they can't help at all. When you breathe in, lift one leg into tabletop position. When you exhale, deepen your sense of your imprint, and then bring up your second leg as well. Let's start the toe tap on an exhale so you can use your breath to connect with how you're creating your stability while you tap down, and then inhale to lift back up. Alternate legs. Exhale, tap your foot, and inhale to lift. So our goal in this exercise is to stay focused in the abdominal wall. Your leg is smart enough to stay bent at the knee and to move towards the floor. So I want you to imagine it just like a weight you're holding in the air. And we're trying to get your hip flexor muscles to work while they lengthen to control the leg dropping. And that's what your abs are in a fight with. While the hip flexors get longer, your abs are just holding isometrically, keeping your pelvis still. 1 more on the other side, tapping down and lifting back up. All right, now I want you to take your arms out to the sides with your palms up. We're going to do a second version. I want you to turn your knees out and your toes in so your feet look like a diamond. Now, you can see right now my feet are higher than my knees. Now I'm just going to drop that down so it no longer looks like a diamond, which is, I guess, easier to describe that way out of habit. Let's toe tap and lateral rotation. So now when you exhale, connect with that breath before you move. You're going to tap 1 foot down. Inhale up. So right away, tap down. You're going to notice 2 big changes. I've got a different part of my hip flexor group that I'm focusing on, and these are probably less used to doing this eccentric contraction. So you might feel a little more resistance or a pop or a click the first couple times. Just double down on how you're stabilizing the abs. That's still the answer. You also might want to change the range of motion. Even though we're tapping down the toe, it doesn't have to hit the floor. Listen to what's going on at the abs instead. Now, that was only the first thing. The second weird thing that comes up, because your knees are turned out, it's actually harder to stay centered. There's more force that could pull you into a rotation. So just a nice different challenge to think about. And if you've ever done like frog lying flat on the chair, this is very similar to what it feels like to stabilize when we split those pedals apart. Always looking for a random connection, boop, boop, to the equipment exercises. Let's turn on to your side. I'm just like babbling to you. How am I doing for time? Oh man, time's a-flying. All right, knees stacked up, head resting on your bottom arm. Let's get through a couple spinal rotations here. So arm reaching forward at chest height. You're going to take an inhale breath. Top arm reaches up to the ceiling. And then an exhale to rotate your upper body, reaching your arm back. Stay here. Let's take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, lift your arm up and close it back down. And again, inhale, top arm reaches up. And then rotate towards the back. Hold here, breathe in. And then draw the navel in, lift and close. Just one more time. Inhale, top arm reaches up. Focus on compressing the abs while you twist. You really want to work to wring yourself out. Now stay there and let the breath in feel really expansive right across the chest, out into the arm. And exhale, lift and close. To the other side. All right. Make sure we get those hips at a 90-degree angle as well as the knees. Keep those legs stacked up. Now inhale, top arm goes up to the ceiling. Rotate towards the back as you exhale. Hold here, take a breath in, and then exhale to lift and close. And again, inhale, watch that hand as it rises up, and try to track it again with your peripheral vision as you reach back. We want to get movement in the neck. We want to work on that field of vision. Inhale here. And exhale, lift and close. One more time. Inhale, top arm reaches up. Compress those abs, wring yourself out. Try to keep those hips stacked. One more breath in, and exhale to close it back down. All right, let's go on to your back. We're going to do a set of the 100 next. We get a little abdominal endurance. This exercise is usually executed with your head lifted up off the mat into a crunch. If that's not great for your neck, you can keep your head down and just follow me through the rest of the exercise. All right, arms start long by your sides. When you exhale, rock into an imprinted position again. So you get that lengthening through your low back, and then you're going to lift one leg and then the other into tabletop. Let's stay here for a breath in. When you exhale, nod your chin, curl up your head and shoulders, and I want you to roll up till you're right at the bottom tip of the blades. Next, we had bounces with the arms. So you're going to inhale as you bounce the arms 5 times, and exhale for 5 bounces. Okay, so this can be the whole move, or if you want to make it harder, you can make your legs straight. Higher is a little bit easier. Lower is more challenging. And inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. So customizable for whatever you're feeling today. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale into the back of the body. Now draw the navel to the spine. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep gazing at your knees. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now curl up further with your breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep squeezing inner thighs. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. Last 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck those knees in, lower your head, release your feet back down to the mat. All right, we're going to send the legs out straight. We're going to go into the prep for the roll up. Start with your arms lifting up to the ceiling right above your chest. And there's a good place to just sense if you're neutral. So again, pelvis, rib cage, head, have the contact, neck, and low back with a slight forward curve so they're a little bit off the mat. Now reach your arms overhead about halfway towards the floor. What you're doing is creating a stretch for your shoulders, for your lats, but I still want you focused on neutral, so you're resisting with your abs to hold those ribs down. All right, so let's just go up halfway through the roll-up. You're going to inhale, lifting your arms above your chest, then nod your chin and start to curl up. We're going to go a little farther than we did in the hundreds so that you have to start flexing your low back. Now, your challenge is to stay this high, And then as you inhale, lift your arms in line with your ears. And you can feel that adds more load. And then exhale to lower back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms up over your chest. Nod your chin. Think through every little bit of this. So I feel where the shoulder blades come off, and I tilt the pelvis to get a little more lift. Now, as you inhale, keep looking forward. Take those arms back, and exhale, lower back down. Again, inhale, arms come up to lead. Now sequence, go through your head nod, curl the head and shoulders off, and when they can't round anymore, we tilt the pelvis and you get up like 1 or 2 more vertebrae. Then as you inhale, shoot those arms back by your ears, exhale, down. All right, I'm going to take you into the full roll up, and if you're not there yet, just keep doing that exercise we just started with. As you inhale, arms come up above your chest. Let's still work through the sequencing. I nod the chin, get to the shoulder blades. Now I start to imprint, and I want to keep pulling my ribs towards my pubic bone to increase my flexion, and then the pelvis can come up, and we get all the way onto those sit bones. As you inhale, start to roll back, tucking your tailbone under, and now you're going to unravel, take your time with it, and reach your arms overhead. Inhale, arms up over your chest. Nod your chin, start to curl forward. Slow, reasonably slow is better. This gives you time to think through the sequencing. When I curl back, I'm going to tuck the pelvis. I want to keep the feet flexed. Imagine you're pushing out through your heels. Unravel, reach your arms overhead. Inhale, arms up over your chest. Nod your chin, curl forward. I always find it funny, like when I speed up these videos to put, like the preview on Instagram, so you know if you want to do this, how hard I work to do this exercise in real time, and how silly and easy it looks when it's sped up. Like I just flip up, I flip down. It's like it totally loses the impressiveness of our suffering when we're working out. And roll back. Oops, did I say suffering? Only when I go slow in this exercise do I feel that way. Let's go up and down one more time. Nod your chin, curl yourself up, take a reach over your legs, and then roll yourself back down. Take those arms overhead. Okay, I'm going to leave one arm overhead, bring my other one down to help me flip, roll over onto your stomach. Arms in a W position. 3 breaststroke preps, then we're going to go to the full breaststroke. So you want your legs parallel. They can be together or slightly separated. You're going to use a little pressure into your forearms on this one. As you breathe in, I want you to lift your head and your chest, roll your shoulder blades back and down, and keep coming up till you're on your last rib or 2, still having the forearms for stability. And then when you exhale, I want you to lower into a hover. So you're going to feel each rib slide back down. Make a nice long line just above the mat, looking at the floor. And again, inhale, elongate the neck, start to lift up, gaze off the edge of the mat when you're at the top of the move. And then exhale, compress your abs, hug your ribs together to bring you back down. One more, inhale, head and chest lift. And exhale, you lower back down. All right, so that's as much as the spine's going to move. Let's add some arms to make this tougher. Stay in your hover. On your next exhale, reach your arms overhead so you're in your superhero position. As you inhale, circle your arms to your hips while you lift your head and chest. Then exhale, pretend to dive into that water. Run the arms up your body, reach to overhead. Now push your water back and lift your head out of it. Exhale, dive down low, drawing the abs in. Inhale, let the breath lift you up. And exhale, back down, reaching through. Inhale as you lift. 3 more times. Exhale, dive it low. Inhale, circle, float up. And 2 to dive down. And circle and lift. 1 more time. Exhale. And inhale all the way back up. Good. Lower yourself back down. Go back to that W shape with your arms. If you had your legs together, can you bring them apart to hip width? Push yourself up to the top of that breaststroke prep position, and then come back down off of it a quarter of the distance. All right, let's get a little side bend in here. So you're going to take one arm, we're reaching it diagonally across to the other side of the mat, and then back to the middle. And you're just letting your upper body follow the amount that's natural. If you like extra range or extra stretch on this one, you can add stepping your leg across, following the arm. And this puts you in more of a full like crescent moon shape with the side of your body. Let's do this 4 more times, either way you like. Crossing and center and 3, 2, and 1, and down. All right, from there, sit back into a shell stretch. All right, we're going to go into an undulating cat. So I'm not going to leave you here too long, but just take a breath in and out just to feel some movement through the back of your body. Okay, for your moving cat, leave a little space between your knees. Now, you want to take your arms out in front of you really far, and you are going to sit back, but not onto your heels. This is more of a butt up in the air, like a puppy stretch, where you're emphasizing your chest, dropping down into that space. All right. So that should give you enough room to work with. So we go from a dog to a cat dog. When you exhale, tuck your tail under and start to flex the spine up to the ceiling while you shift into your hands. Then you're going to drop your hips, lift your chest, lift your chin. Then drop your chin, start to round your spine and shift back. And then elongate back to that puppy pose. We could call that last thing a cobra. It's like dog to cat to cobra. Yeah, exhale, tuck your tail under, round your spine. It's like too many animals to hybrid together. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Now drop your chin, start to roll backwards. Stick out your tail, let your chest drop, lift your chin a little here. Exhale, tuck your tail under, scoop your abs up. You want to push yourself away from the floor, so that way we're not sagging too much into your low back. Now drop your chin, roll yourself back in space, stick your tail out, drop your chest, lift your chin. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, tuck your tail under, shift your body weight forward, push your hips down, lift your heart up, and then drop your chin, roll your weight back again, and stick out your tail and drop your chest. All right, let's keep working with kneeling. Tall kneel, arms out, stop sign hands. Spine twist, 3 pulses to each side. As you exhale, let's rotate for 3 and 2 and 1. Inhale back to center. Other side. For 3, 2, 1, back to the middle. Why always the stop sign hands? 2, 3. Hopefully you know the answer. This gives you a better stretch through your forearms. 2 and 3, back to center. Exhale, rotate. And 2 and 3. Return and twist. 2, 3. Give me one more set each side. And rotate. Deeper 2. Further 3. Now back to center. Last time. 3 and 2 and 1. Back to the center. Relax your arms back down. All right. I want you to take one leg out to the side. One hand down to the floor. Line that hand up with your knee. Oh, I did that in that order. I'm usually like legs second. Spread out your fingertips. Hands at your head. Let's do a little side kick. All right, so you're going to take your top leg up to hip height, parallel, and foot flex to start. As you breathe in, swing your leg forward, and you're going to do a pulse to the front. Point your toes, reach your leg back in one smooth kick. Inhale, reach forward. 1, 2. Exhale, point your toes and reach back. So in this, I'm going to pull my shirt a little bit. Try to resist flexing when you go forward, and instead work on staying neutral and only let the leg go alone without any change in the pelvis. So you can see that reduces my range of motion right up there. When I flexed, it was like this. So you can see a big shift in my shoulder. That's what I'm fighting. So nice and stable through the rest of your body. Last one, kicking 1, 2, and sweeping back. All right, let's take it to the other side. All right, so normally it's like this, hand, leg, like a normal person. All right, weight shifted above the arm, other hands at your forehead, and then go ahead and pose that leg at hip height. Start with it flexed, reaching long energy out of it. Inhale, 2 kicks to the front. Point your toes, give 1 sweeping kick to the back. Inhale, 2 forward, and exhale back. Kick, kick, sweep the leg 3 more times, reaching out through that heel, and exhale back. Try to maintain the same amount of lift the whole time you're moving. Last time. Kick, kick, sweep back. All right, drop your leg down. Let's sit down for a little spine stretch forward to finish. I feel like I'm facing away from you too much. Legs out in front of you. They can be straight or they can be slightly bent at the knees. You want to get yourself up onto your sit bones to start. I want you to begin reaching your arms up to the ceiling. You're going to take a big inhale breath, hinge forward at the hips with your back straight, and then when you exhale, circle your arms around your calves and flex your spine. Hold this position for a breath in. Try to focus the air into your back, And then when you exhale, roll back up till you're straight. Now swing your arms around behind you, fingertips to the floor. Lift your chest and chin and look up at the ceiling when you exhale. And then return to neutral. Let's shoot those arms up again. So I'm going to reach them up high. While I'm inhaling, I want to hinge forward. And that gives me a sense, just like in the beginning, I'm getting bigger, I'm getting longer as I reach forward. And then exhale, scoop your abs in and flex your spine. Stay here for a breath in. Now make this about your awareness. Where are your sit bones? Stack right up above them without letting them move. One rib layer at a time, then your neck and head. Arms around to the back, fingertips to the floor. Now lift from your heart, let your chest and chin follow, pull those shoulders back, and then return to neutral. Let's try that one more time. So arms are going to shoot up. Let's get big. Keep that big. Hinge forward. And then exhale, deflate around that spine. Scoop those abs in. Hold there to breathe in. And then roll back up to vertical. Arms around to the back. Little fingertip touch to the floor. Pull those shoulders back. Lift your chest, lift your chin. And then come back to neutral. Done. All right, friendies. I hope all that good hip stuff let you get up off the floor like that. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.